Alright, we're going to do a quick tutorial on how to use the cinematic modules in their current state as far as 1.9. So these animation modules will help you kind of create some ambience when you first start missions. You can use them in multiplayer or in single player. For this example, this is just one example that you could possibly do. We're going to be doing it in single player. Keep in mind, I am a scripter by heart. I don't really do much in the editor. I don't even work with triggers when I create things. So I'm going to be creating this first in a way that the average user can actually do this just all from within the editor. Okay, so what our scene we're going to do here is we're going to have Indiana Jones here, have a fade in, and then tell them where he's at as far as a little intro text on the bottom right end of the screen. And then we're going to do a map animation which will move the map, kind of showing him where he needs to go. So first things first, we actually need the screen to be completely black when the mission first starts. So we're going to use a fade screen, and we're going to set the fade duration to something extremely small. Sometimes 0 doesn't work, so I like to use like 1 to the -3 type thing, 1 to the times 10 to the -3, or 1 millisecond. We'll fade out, color's black, and that'll be a first part. Then we want it to start fading in at 2 seconds after mission starts. So we'll create a trigger, wait for 2 seconds, and then we'll start the second fade screen, which will take 3 seconds to fade in. So now it'll be instantly black, wait 2 seconds, fade in over 3 seconds. And then after 5 seconds, so we're going to add another 3 seconds after this here, so it will be a total of 2 seconds after the fade duration is done for 5 seconds. We're going to do our little title, Tanoa, nearby ancient ruins, blah, 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 blah. And that will be like the first initial intro. Then we have our map selection, our map animation set up here. So we have our area that we're going to be checking to make sure the player leaves. So we're having this set to not present. And it's going to start the animation when they leave. This first animation will tell you who it's affecting. You can do it by side, you can do it by synced units, you can do it to everyone. So this is your multiplayer option. It really doesn't matter on single player, I just have it set to everyone for this. And then it's going to start this first animation here. So the first animation is going to take 1 second to finish, and it's going to wait 1 second after the previous module is fired. So this map animation is going to start, it's going to wait 1 second, it's going to fire this one, and then it's going to find the next animation that's been added, which is over here. And it's going to take 3 seconds to get over here with a delay of 3 seconds as this one finishes. So this one's going to be moving. 3 seconds later, it's going to move to this one over 3 seconds. The zoom, the lower the number, the more zoomed in you are on the map. You can change the zoom on the fly. It kind of creates this cool little effect. And then we have this execution box as well. This execution allows us to execute code when the animation starts. It's primarily used for when you want to do voiceovers with an animation. So let's say you've got, your narrator saying you're going to go to this position type thing. You would put that in this expression, and it would start when that module starts. Here we actually want to do something when when the animation is done. We want to actually add our task. So we're just going to spawn a thread and then wait 3 seconds, and then we'll set our variable to true, which then this trigger connected to the task is just waiting to see if this is not nil. So you can add, in my case, you could add true or false. It doesn't matter. As long as it's not nil, it'll fire. All right. So, and then as far as the other modules, we got a lightning storm to kind of create a cool little environment. And then I have a date one here. That way I can edit during daylight and then just automatically set it to like 7:37 at night. No biggie. All right, so let's take a look at what this looks like. All right, so we have a black screen to start. It's going to fade in over 3 seconds. Now it's going to start our little thing on the right here, telling us where we're at, give us the total time when it's done, and then you can have your players doing all kinds of stuff in the little starting area. You can even start the map animations at the start if you really want to. It doesn't really matter. So let's walk outside of the zone. And as you see, it starts our animation. There's our first place. You could have like voiceovers happen at this time using those execution boxes. And then it would go and add our little task. And then it ends, and then it closes the map so that you can continue what you're doing. The key thing to remember when that closing time happens is in the animation start. You have this parameter here. It's waiting after the last animation has started. So if this animation is taking 3 seconds to get done, and I want it to be, I want the map to close 3 seconds after it gets done, I just do 3 plus 3, 6. So it'll wait 3 seconds after this is finished, but a total of 6 seconds because it's tracking when this one starts. Everything is based on when things start. This is so that you can actually add voiceovers and stuff easier. So a little modification will have to happen on things that are ending. So that's pretty much just like the very basic idea of how you would end up using these. You can chain as many of these animations as you want as long as it's in one singular chain. So you have a start, you have an add, and you can chain them together as long as they're in one big section here. Okay. This animation starts doing all the work to parse all of the data from all of these various locations to create one long chain event. Okay. All right, let me know if there's any bugs. Remember, this is kind of in a development stage here for figuring out how we actually want to go about doing it. But yeah, feel free to leave comments or hit me up on the Discord, and we can go over any bugs that you guys find. See ya.